This offseason, the Minnesota Vikings had a couple of major decisions to make with their long, stalwart superstars, Harrison Smith, as well as JEROME, Ezekiel Thielen. Now, they went in different directions. So Thielen was cut. Harrison Smith took a pay cut to remain in purple for a 12th season. And fans are really comparing the two, right? Because you look at what happened, similar situations. They've been with the team for a decade plus, stars in their respective sides of the ball, and much different decisions in this offseason. Now, it's easy to compare and contrast these two spots, but they're similar, but they're also very different. And we wanted to get into this. And frankly, I'm glad that we're making this video like a week after the fact versus right after, where just like, I don't know, I might have had some emotions in there, whatever. But with Harrison and Thielen, all right, so Harrison is 34, came in the league in 2012, first-round pick. The other first-round pick in 2012 we don't talk about. 11 seasons versus Thielen's 10. Thielen's 33 in August 2013, UDFA at Mankato State University Community College. Nailed it. This year, Harrison was due a $14.7 million salary. Thielen, $11.8. Harrison took a pay cut down to $8 million plus $2 million in incentives. So just about 50%. And then Adam Thielen was released and is still, as of right, 10:50 a.m. Central Time on Sunday morning, is still looking for a team as first and second wave free agency is rolling through. And the free agent market for wide receivers is rather tepid at this moment in time. Now, Harrison was lauded as, hey, oh, look at the team player. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, taking a pay cut for the good of the team and staying in purple. That's loyalty right there. And Thielen was just seen as, deuces, greedy, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Wife and agent going off on social media, all that stuff. Now, both these guys made the best decision for them, best decision for their family, and I respect that. And also, I know that Thielen's wife and agent have gotten some flack for being chirping on social media, but also to a degree, I respect them always standing by their guy no matter what. You'll find someone who stands in your corner like that, so it's sort of whatever. And yes, the outcomes came out very differently, but I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of factors here. Number one, Harrison did take that significant pay cut, but also it's kind of hard for a 34-year-old safety to get paid in the open market. And if the Vikings cut him, which is a distinct possibility, would he have gotten more than what he got from the Vikings on a one-year deal, $8 million plus $2 million in incentives? Probably not. Also, he's still a starter on the defense. Like, even though Lewis Seaton is coming back, Cam Beasley started last season, Harrison is still the guy. And also, in Brian Flores' defense, his best attribute right now, which is his blitzing, is finally going to get used, which it didn't get used very much last season. Only 14 blitzes from Harrison Smith last year with Donatell. Even though he did come away with 5 interceptions, it's still looking good. Fully understand that. And Thielen, all right, so Thielen is going to be 33 in August, and in terms of wide receiver years, that's pretty old. But he bet on himself, and he looked out on a soft free agent wide receiver market. It's like, okay, I'm competing against, Juju and Jacoby Myers and Alan Lazard. Like, I can get paid. I'm still JEROME, Ezekiel Thielen. I'm still a 2-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time second-team All-Pro. I'm still that guy. And if he would have returned to the Vikings, he probably would have taken a significant pay cut. Now, the Vikings did have some interest in bringing him back, so TBD. What they offered him, was it insultingly low? Was it like $4 million a year? Don't really know. But he would not have been automatically the wide receiver 2 in 2023. I think the Vikings like what they see in KJ Osborne. They like what they see with Jalen Naylor. They obviously want to take a look in the draft at a pretty good wide receiver class. So his spot wouldn't have been guaranteed like Harrison's role would have been. Even though the Vikings may roll with a lot more 3 safety looks, I mean, Harrison is still going to be a major part of this defense, where Thielen's role, probably not. Probably not, and really up in the air. And Thielen, betting on himself, came in as a UDFA out of Mankato State University Community College. Like we said, worked his way up from the practice squad and became that dude. And the thing about Thielen's contract, which also spurred the disparate action between him and Harrison, is that his $11.817 million base salary this year was fully guaranteed on the third day of the new league year. So the Vikings had to make an S or get off the pot decision very quick, whereas with Harrison, he was due a $14.7 million base salary, but only 1.25 of it was guaranteed on the first day of the new league year. So they could have wrote things out for forever, but Harrison just decided to take the pay cut, whereas Thielen's decision was much more driven by the deadline coming up. And Thielen, like we mentioned, last year still had 107 targets. I mean, that's a pretty good opportunity. IMO, especially when you're opposite of Justin Fricker Jefferson getting 185 plus targets, but still put up 70 catches for 716 yards, 6 touchdowns. And he's 2 years removed from having a 10 touchdown catch season 2021 as well as 14 in 2020. So I'm sure that he sees himself as still being a wide receiver too, a guy that should be earlier in the progressions and a guy that should be more of a priority in the passing game. And he's out there trying to find that spot, whether it's rumored to be Kansas City, whether he had a visit with Carolina. TBD what happens there. And with Harrison Smith, like we said, first round pick in 2012, the only first round pick in 2012, and he showed last year, even at an advanced age, he is still that guy. Like, he's still a ball hawk, and also his blitzing skills are certainly been underutilized. Also, his trolling skills are certainly underutilized. I mean, what a way to announce that you're back. I love it, man. And I understand. Like, this is what sports fans do. Like, we find two things that are kind of similar, then we compare them, then we debate it all day long. It's like, well, what is it, Kobe or Jordan, or is it LeBron or Jordan? It's Jordan, obviously, in both cases, by the way, but that's an argument for another day. And even though on the surface you have two guys that played a decade plus in purple, two amazing stars at their respective positions, two guys that both should be in the Vikings Ring of Honor someday, and I mean, they had similar decisions this offseason. And again, I respect the decisions that both these guys made. Harrison taking the pay cut, staying put. Thielen betting on himself in free agency. They both made the best decision for them and their families and their situations. I, again, respect that. And even though on the surface their situations are similar, they're very, very different. So I understand why both of them made the decision that they did. And I wish both of them the best of luck, especially Harrison, since he's on the Vikings this year. I do wonder where Thielen's going to end up, and I wonder what he's going to get paid. I guess we'll see what happens. But your thoughts are thoughts. Situation between Harrison Smith and Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, similar but different. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.